What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Do you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
Come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
College kids are telling us Trump's State of the Union didn't go so well. The only problem? It's tomorrow. Rate Trump's State of the Union speech 1 out of 10. 1's the worst, 10's the best. Negatives. And why? I think we all know a lot of reasons. Yeah. What about the State of the Union last night? 1 to 10.
It was like a 1 or 2. I mean, it was all over the place.
Probably just give it a 0. I'm gonna give it a 1.
And why do you say 1?
I don't think he's very articulate.
How did Trump do at the State of the Union?
0. I'll be real, I didn't watch it.
I didn't really watch it much. I watched it for a little bit, but turned off.
The State of the Union last night. How was that? 1 to 10.
I didn't know it was last night. I thought it was tomorrow.
No, you're good. You passed the test. Good job.
So that was kind of funny because what that was somebody out there talking to Nimrods who seemed to think that the State of the Union had already happened. That shows you how stupid they are. So welcome tonight to the State of the Union. Ashley and I are absolutely exhausted for what we had to go through today, but it was amazing. Over the next couple days, once we get back, I get back to Florida and I can edit this footage. I think you guys will enjoy it. Everything went. We had about 10 or 11 different interviews. Then tomorrow morning, we're heading over to the White House complex for some interviews with administrative cabinet people. So that should be a lot of fun. But today we spent from what time? 11 o'clock or so, 10 o'clock until almost 4 p.m. and just people coming through. You're going to love some of the interviews. And I want to talk to you about some of the interviews right now real quick to give you a high-level view as to what exactly happened. One of the things that we continually found, one of the things that was the overreaching theme is that the congressional Republicans are extremely frustrated with John Thune. Overly. In fact, saying it out loud, we are ticked off at John Thune isn't getting the job done. We thought that was amazing. I didn't know they'd be so forthright and forthcoming with their feelings, but they were. They definitely were. In addition to that, what we also found was interesting is how many of them I'd say almost an individual, gave us some information that I didn't think was widespread. One of the things that we all know what's been going on in Mexico. I don't know if some of you have seen what the president of Mexico has said, where the president of Mexico said at one point she couldn't take on the cartels because it was against their civil rights, and there were some people wondering how much of an input America had. Well, just let you know, hearing it from official people at the Capitol, we are involved in Mexico. I'm not sure if you knew that specifically, but I can confirm that to you tonight 100%. Everything happening in Mexico right now, we are a part of it. And so if I know, and now you know, then other countries know. Cubans know. The Venezuelans know. All of our foes in Europe know. The Democrats know, which we're going to talk about. So that might be some news you guys weren't aware of, and now for sure I can specifically tell you that we're in Mexico. I got to click a button here. Wait a second. Hold on. Does that do it? Okay. I got to come back out of it. So that's something that I'm not sure. I'm looking in a chat. People are like, I didn't know that. I didn't either. I had no idea that we were openly telling the world, yeah, that's us. We're going to take on these cartels, and we're going to do everything we possibly can to take down the cartels in Mexico. So if you got a college kid, a son, daughter, granddaughter, grandson that's looking at vacationing in Cancun, you might want to direct them to South Florida because, man, that was some other stuff. But I'm going to tell you more about that. I spoke to just so many people. I think if I had to recap the person that was most forthcoming was Lisa McCain. And, she's like the number 2 to Mike Johnson. And she's so polished. She took the microphone and went, bam, she just ran with it. And so I think you'll enjoy that. I'm sorry I didn't have time to edit all those clips tonight. But, we're here with the guys from Rumble. They've been quite nice to allow us to use this studio, especially to do this event. So let me tell you about this event. President Trump is due to come on, as we know, at 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock or a little bit, I'm probably going to put some music on so we can segue and pull in the feeds and make sure everything is working copacetic. But before then, as always, let me go ahead and talk to you about some news. And some of you may know this news. The hockey team. This was another thing that many people were talking about. Let me make sure my buttons are working here. And yeah, they're not. So I'm going to have to put my big mug inside section 12 here so you can see. But this is the hockey team. And so while we were in the meeting, everybody was talking. Everybody was talking about this hockey team being here at the White House. Give me 1 second. I just have to fix this so I can actually show you and be in this thing. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah. So these are the guys. They were at the White House. They met with President Trump. And if you've noticed, they caught so much flack because these Americans wanted to come to the White House, meet the president. Obviously, that's not the whole team. And the Democrats are, basically focusing on one player here and one player there that didn't show up. But the bulk of the team was right there in the Oval Office. I think we have another. Let me just make sure as I click through the buttons here. I don't want to put the wrong thing on. Oh, and this was, I think, would be my highlight of the day. You know him. That's Nick Shirley. I didn't have a chance to interview him. We may be able to interview him tomorrow, but Nick Shirley was in that same room that we were in, and it was. He just happened to walk by. I'm like, that's Nick, and you can just tell he's such an affable person. And I feel so bad because the guy who helped dropped the bomb on Minnesota, his partner, the older guy, I forget his name, but he was there as well. And so they were talking to a few people. So it was a very interesting event. To our left was PBD podcast, Patrick Bet David's podcast. He wasn't there, but his crew was there. And to our right was Lindell TV, and then we had Fox News and Politico and Reuters and Bloomberg. And I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And little old us representing the Fanfare family, we were up in there. So one of the people, we didn't get a chance to speak to him. He wasn't, let me just go ahead and make sure I get this put together. Mike Johnson. Like I said, we talked to Lisa McLean, but I want you to hear this from Mike Johnson earlier today.
Speaker, do you have any expectations of any new policies? I'm sure he'll mention Iran. I don't know whether he's going to break any news on Iran. I don't think he's going to. I mean, I think when I spoke to him about domestic policy, he said, no more reconciliation bills. Let's just keep executing the one big, beautiful bill, which I might add, you and I were among the stalwarts who kept that title together. But anyway, there might be some breakthroughs on foreign policy. What do you think about that possibility?
Well, we'll see how far he goes in terms of communicating all that tonight. I just literally left a Gang of Eight briefing, national security briefing regarding Iran to come and be with you. And I can tell you we're in good position on all of that. That's about all I can say. But the president watches it very closely. I think a lot of the emphasis tonight will be on domestic policy and on the economy and on our continuing quest to bring down the cost of living and expand opportunity and liberty and security for the American people. That's what we've done. That's what the president is laser focused upon doing. So you'll hear more about making life more affordable. And I think that's a big thing we can do together. Now, you're right, Larry, you and I were big advocates of the one big beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut. We did that through reconciliation. I'm not yet ready to concede that we're not going to have a second reconciliation bill, and we've been working on that. And after I heard the president say that to you, I called him and I went on Maria Bartiromo's show and said that I'm still bullish on it. So let's not give up hope yet. I think there are some things we could squeeze into that package that we could do it with only Republican votes. Look, I don't think the Democrats are in any mood to give the president any more wins because he's had so many. And so it may be that we have to do a lot of this on our own. I hope that's not true, but we'll be prepared either way.
Definitely going to have to do it on your own. One of the things that Lisa McCain, Ryan, how do you pronounce his last name? Zinke? Ryan Zink? Zink. He was there, was saying, and another theme that you heard from everybody is they're not going to be able to expect to have any help from the Democrats whatsoever. They're staying in lockstep, and Republicans are doing everything they can to keep people together. Another thing that they talked about, and in fact they didn't talk about, it was part of the questions. I'm like, what the hell's going on with the SAVE Act? Are we going to get it done? Are we going to have to go through, the standing filibuster? Why are we not making them do that? Why did we take the rule away and let them phone it in? Why don't we actually make these people stand up and do it? So here's a little bit more information. I have absolutely confirmed today how this process will work. And this is a big if John Thune forces the standing filibuster, they didn't confirm today that actually was going to happen. So as of right now at 8:15 on Tuesday evening, it is not confirmed that John Thune is actually going to put that out there and make them break the standing filibuster. So if you heard it from somebody else that was what they're going to do, that has not been confirmed. They are trying to get him to do it. And so what the process would be is if they would do their standing filibuster the way it was designed, they each get a chance to talk. And in some instances, some of them may talk twice. After they've expended everything that they can out of their lungs, then it would go to a 51 majority vote, which is viable. It could happen. That's where the frustration people were telling me is they need to get John Thune in a position where he actually does it. And so I asked them, what is it we can do? What can we do to help make this happen? And they pretty much said, get on the phone, send tweets and emails, get a hold of we're going to have to push John Thune into this. I know you're not a senator. I know you're not a congressperson, but we're going to have to do the work as Americans if we want to see this thing happen. Now, understand tonight, as it's been reported, Thomas Massie is going to be sitting on the Democrat side. It'd be one thing if we were just failing, But it's not. We are beating ourselves. We can't keep our coalition together. And I could see it in their faces how frustrated they were, is that it's one thing to have to go and do battle with these idiots, and you got to turn around and do battle with your own party. So President Trump, from what we understand, he may, unless it's a head fake, you better get your blankets, your popcorn, and your soda. He may speak for as long as 3 hours tonight. I just want to let you know, you don't plan on going to bed anytime soon. It's 8:15. He's supposed to come on at 9 o'clock, and he may speak for 3+ hours. I don't know what he's going to say, but from what I understand, he's going to go through all of his accomplishments, go through them one after the other, and then supposedly from Caroline Leavitt, he may break some new ground with some new policies that he wants to drop in. So that was some of the stuff that we heard today. So that, I wanted to make sure you understood about this whole filibuster thing and how that's going to work. All right, what do I have here? Who's this one? Let's see what this is. Hold on. Oh, this is Mike Johnson with Lisa. These were the people we were seeing today.
This evening, the entire country will hear an update on the full scope of President Trump's transformational and historic first year back in office. The results speak for themselves. Why does he have so much to talk about? Because inflation's down, wages are up, investment is booming, the GDP is exceeding every expectation. Democrats, meanwhile, are going to host, count them, 5 separate counter events, rallies of some sort, they call them, in lieu of tonight's address.
So you guys should know that's another thing that's going on tonight. They're already started. Their counter rallies started at 8 o'clock. I think Jim Acosta is hosting one of them. I'm not going to show it. It is nothing but a bitch and wine fest at this point. But they're holding all these different events to counter program the State of the Union. One thing was very clear to me today. Many of you have probably felt it. I have felt it for quite some time. We can't coexist with these people. There's nothing that they want to reach across the aisle for. Nothing. And like I've said a few times as we've talked about some of these campaign speeches these people have said, F Trump is not a campaign policy. F Trump doesn't help lower your taxes. F Trump doesn't get your grocery prices down. F Trump doesn't help you with your rent and your mortgage. Nothing. They offer nothing but F Trump. And so if you're reaching across the aisle or attempting to reach across the aisle from somebody who absolutely hates you, who hates everything about you, how do you negotiate that? And so I think we really, one of the things that the themes that came across to me today was we have to stop. We have to get our house in order. We got to get our people in order, and then we move forward from there. Let's finish with what Mike Johnson was saying about tonight.
For all of these theatrics, it doesn't matter how many little gatherings they have or where they stand or how high the volume is on the microphones. They have nothing to offer, nothing but their TDS agenda, the Trump derangement syndrome, and it's on full display. All they can say, all they can tell you about is how they oppose President Trump and thwart his agenda and shut down the government and protest everything from the president's joint address to basic immigration enforcement. And they obstruct any meaningful progress for the sake of obstruction. It's the same tired playbook that they've run for a decade now. It's shameful that they would boycott an address. We don't do that. Republicans don't do that. It doesn't matter if there's a president from the opposing party. We don't skip out. Our constituents want and need us to be here.
You know, one of the things that I kept hearing today was these people are neglecting their jobs. They were voted in to represent people, and they're doing absolutely nothing. They are not even representing the people who voted them in. Not every person in New York, not every person in California, not every person in Vermont, not every person in Michigan wants these people to be doing nothing. But they don't care. So at one point I asked, it's almost like we're in a proxy war with the Democrats. And I got some nods about that. You know, the warfare that we're seeing in the court system, in addition to all of the ideology like DEI and transformer and illegal, people coming here into the country, which I understand they were trying, I don't know if they do it, but they're planning on bringing some to the State of the Union, which would be idiotic. There is no common ground. You would think America would be the common ground. The Constitution, our way of life. No. So how do you negotiate with people who don't want to be Americans? They love the money. Every single one of them loves the money that they're making. But they want to tell all the minions out there that they'd rather be broke. They'd rather take money from people. And so I asked, I don't know which one, so many people, what happens if they win? And they said, we're toast. So if you know we're toast, if you know America as you know it will be no more. In fact, I think it was Lisa who said, indeed, they will pack the court. They will do every single thing. They will open the borders again. How the hell can these panicans and black pillars be standing around saying, I'm not going to vote? They have to be lying or they're idiots. There can be no other option here. They have to be lying for clicks and likes and views because otherwise they're going to be gone, or they're Democrats and they'll just change. They'll change and flip should that ever happen. You and I will be toast. But that was another thing that came out today. I mean, it was amazing seeing these people, and you think they're in power, but you realize they're not in power. They're trying to negotiate with other people who want nothing to do with them. And I found that to be something kind of, I don't get scared much, but it's a kind of a scary thought when you think that, you've got, 400 people in the House and 100 people in the Senate, and literally half of them and a couple more once you include the Republicans want nothing to do with the America we know. And I hate to be bringing it to you this blunt today, but until I got into the belly over there and actually got to talk to people, I was as stunned as maybe some of you are right now. I'm like, there's nothing you can do? Nope. You can't even. No, the only thing they keep saying is you give us this and we might vote for it. They're not giving an inch. They don't care. I mean, you've seen how they've destroyed or tried to destroy these hockey players merely for showing up and saying, I love America. You can't even say that. An entire hockey team was attacked because they put flags over their bodies and was, oh, yay, America. Nope, can't do it. And so one of the things that I believe, God, might have been Ryan Zink said, we need to bring it to a vote. We need to have people, as much as they say in the media, we need to have them say on the record, I will not vote for voter ID. And it was amazing because women, men, everyone's like, we've all had IDs, right? And they made fun of Mondami over and over. You need 2 IDs to shovel frickin' snow. You don't want us to have 2 IDs to vote. So that was kind of shocking. Let me see where I can go to next here. Which one is this? And this is an early version of how many people are skipping the State of the Union or not skipping, but going to maybe an alternative one.
No, 100%, and that's exactly what President Trump can do, because this is the message that Republicans are going to take out to the midterms. The notes in which he echoes tonight will be exactly what you hear Republicans say on the stump. And you keep in mind, this is a president that's going to be out there. It's almost as if he was running for election. They're going to have him on the campaign trail. I'm expecting the president to deliver in a way in which the American people expect him to, presidentially, and tell them what's in it for them. What has he done over the course of a year? And I can tell you, he's accomplished a great deal cleaning up the mess of Joe Biden's presidency, but there's much more to be done.
One of the things I asked over and over was about the accomplishments. the accomplishments of the president, the accomplishments of Congress, the accomplishments of the Senate. And I kept asking them, and I was like, you're having a messaging issue. They are destroying you on messaging. Not enough people understand that, A, this stuff, a lot of this stuff is already funded. And not enough people know what wasn't funded. We just went through a horrible snowstorm up in the Northeast, or we didn't get much snow here. But FEMA, people are going to need FEMA. That's not funded. How can that be a messaging issue? You should be telling everybody they're the ones who cut off FEMA. And just before I came on today, they had another vote. Oh, but let me tell you about that. So everybody's in this giant ballroom, whatever it is, and they're going around and they're meeting with everybody, and then they all have to leave to go vote, and they have to, walk half a mile and go vote, and then come back. And I'm like, is this the normal process? Yes, this is what we have. And what happens? Well, they pretty much know before they go things are going to fail. And so, sure enough, the Democrats did not vote to fund certain things that are being shut down over again. So we have to be the people promoting this, because one of the people said they outright lie. They will look in a camera. They have no qualms about it and just openly lie. I just had to look over here because the feed just came on, which is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and continue. Then I'm going to take some questions from you guys. Hold on. Okay. Check this out.
This is the unofficial kickoff for the midterm season. Yes, it's about the president, but that's really the big goal later on. Hakeem Jeffries was saying this about the Democrat boycott. Let's listen. Either attend with silent defiance or do not attend and send a message to Donald Trump in that fashion. Who needs the schoolyard bully to tell a group of adults what they should or shouldn't do? Are you surprised a bit by that, Erica, that he would, put out this, you do this or you do that?
Before her answer, let me just say something, because I did ask about this. What is the messaging? What is the tone by what they're doing? How does it affect people across the country when you literally see half the government giving the other half the middle finger, definitely giving the middle finger to the president, not even showing up, not even showing defiance because you're not going to see them? Which I don't have a problem. Let's turn it into a rally and ignore them. But if half the room now is going to be, empty, what does that say to America? And I would love to know the people who are Americans who are Democrats but not nuts. I think there has to be a point where we have to start looking at people and going, we need to differentiate you. Are you an American who happens to be a Democrat, or are you a commie? That's it. You're either a socialist commie or you're an American who happens to be a Democrat, but you're not a complete libtard. I think we're going to have to make that definite definition. Also, I spoke to probably 3 or 4 representatives from Texas, flat out. Asked them the question. We keep seeing in the news. We keep seeing polls, fake or otherwise. We keep seeing all this stuff. Is Texas really going to turn blue? Is Texas in danger of turning blue? To an individual, hell no. Not going to happen. And to wit, you sit back and think, what is going on with these polls? I mean, there's one, the one guy who was on the show, and you've heard President Trump say it very often with a smile, those polls are BS. And I looked into the eyes of these people today and is Texas in trouble? Let me know, because if Texas in trouble, we need to ring the bell and get people out. It ain't going to happen. I'm like, are you sure? Ain't going to happen. So I was like, okay, let's listen to more about Hakeem.
No, I'm not surprised because all we see from Democrats across the country is running against Trump. They really do not have an agenda that they're standing for or standing on. This is the repeat of past elections. So it's going to behoove Trump to, yes, get the American people behind him and the things that he has already accomplished and the things that he has left to do. What we're going to see with a great economy, especially as people are receiving their tax refunds, more money in their pocket, continuing.
Okay, that came up quite a bit today. I mean, it's February, and so not a lot of people yet have been getting their refunds. The Democrats are going to have a messaging issue of their own as people begin getting refunds, as they begin seeing the effects of the big beautiful bill. Okay, it's working. I did get more money back. But one of the other things, which I think is a messaging issue, is they're not talking enough about what the Democrats are doing to counteract the big, beautiful bill. We've had people in the chat. There may be some people in the chat tonight who are going to talk about the fact of my groceries haven't come down. My gas hasn't come down. Well, we're here in Washington, D.C., and Ashley and I are in the car, and I look over, and the gas prices here were $5.40. $5.40 a gallon. I'm like, wait a second, what the hell is going on? And the driver said, because they keep padding the taxes so that people don't realize the savings. Pretty much what Mondami is trying to do in New York, pretty much what the chick in Virginia is trying to do, that nut job. They keep raising the taxes so that you never see the cheaper price. And I'm like, you sons of bitches. $5.40 a gallon right here in Washington, D.C. I could not believe it. I mean, we're in South Florida, we're looking at $2.78, $2.80, in some places even cheaper. And here it's $5.40 simply because they keep putting more taxes on top of it. So if you're in a state and you're trying to figure out, why are my gas prices still high? Why is my food prices still high? You might want to dig in and find out about that as well, because that's what they're doing.
To see that momentum of prices going down and people seeing that actually day to day. And I believe that this is not going to have any effect. They're just looking for more attention, and being against Trump is not going to win them the midterms.
I hope not. I mean, I sincerely hope that people are a little bit smarter to think that a campaign strategy of F Trump isn't going to work. Unless they don't care about life. Unless it's just let's get rid of Trump. Let's do whatever we can. Let's just endure it. F Trump, get him out of here. And so we can go back to complete DEI, make sure we've got boys playing in girls sports. Let's make sure that we, continue with the transformer ideology. There's nothing they have. I mean, I felt that before I went in today. And then after leaving that today, and I'm sure it'll be accentuated tomorrow, I realized they have nothing. There is no strategy. There is nothing for people to say, listen, what would you like to see for America? Nothing. So tell me how you lose when your opponent has absolutely nothing. And this was Ted Cruz today.
But it hasn't reversed 4 years of damage from Biden. That makes life more expensive for the average working American. Now, there are areas like gas prices have gone down significantly. That's a major area of success. I think the Trump tax cuts that we passed last year, many of them are going to go into full effect this year. That's going to be beneficial. I believe we're going to see significant new investment in the U.S. as a result of the president's diplomacy. I think that's significant. Illegal border crossings are down 99%. Murder rates are down 20%. Drug overdose deaths are down 20%. What I expect tonight to be, I hope, is for the president to give a calm, sober assessment. These are the successes we're winning. Don't pay attention.
I beg to differ. I want President Trump to come out swinging. I don't want a calm, reserved approach. I think he needs to come out. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. I think President Trump needs to come out swinging and let people know he's fighting for us. get people riled up. And and I think the contrast will begin to get even greater that these people aren't fighting for America. I asked people today quite a bit about Iran. I asked them more about what are we going to do with Mexico and Cuba, and they're all for it. Even if you don't want war, I confirmed, as I already knew, yeah, he can do what he needs to do in Iran without congressional approval. And I don't know which woman it was, but one of the women said, "When's the last time we've gotten congressional approval on either side for any limited action?" It doesn't happen. It's all a ruse. And the media goes along with it. We talked about the tariffs. And hey, listen, he's just going to switch. What about the refunds? Good luck with that. Everything the Democrats say is a lie. And it wasn't like I was taking answers at carte blanche and saying, okay, she's telling me the truth, he's telling me the truth. No, if you do the research, you will find out as well. Hold on. Mike Johnson is doing something. Wait a second here. Looks like they started a little bit early. It's JD Vance coming in. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn up the volume on this. I'll be right back. Hold on. Let me turn the volume up on this. All right. So they're coming in now. Right now, what you're seeing is they're entering the chamber. So if the volume is a little bit down, that's just because they haven't turned on the speakers yet. I didn't know. Okay, so I didn't turn off the sound. Right now, as they're walking in, they don't have the microphones in the house on right now as everybody is filling in. And I don't want to interrupt. Oh, Chuck Schumer has showed up. Al Green is in there. So I'll let you guys see them as they're coming in here. Yeah, they just haven't turned on the mics in the hall yet, but they're all filing in. Let me see. I can see when they turn on their microphones. 1 second. Let me make sure. Yeah, Green's got his cane with him. Once Mike Johnson gavels it in, we'll see what's going on here. All right, I'm just going to leave it on so you guys can see. Still, the sound still hasn't come up yet. You guys are cracking me up with your comments here. Release Congress sexual payoff files. All right, so they're all, in case you haven't seen this before, they all file in. The din you hear, they're all talking to each other as they come in. And at one point, Mike Johnson will gavel everybody in, and they'll do all their pleasantries, and then yee-haw, hoo-haws, and then they'll bring in President Trump, and they all start clapping once again. I'm surprised that not John Fetterman, J.D. Vance was in there so early. But you can see who we got. Fetterman is actually in a suit and tie tonight. That's pretty awesome. There's Tim Burchett. Ashley was talking to him today as well. Tim Burchett was right there, but Fetterman is in a suit. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Anna Paulina Luna, we did not see her today. There was a gentleman that was walking in with gray hair. We got an interview with him today. So it was pretty cool. There will never be a man like Trump again. He loves America. Absolutely. So we're minutes away at this point from President Trump coming in. I haven't seen the Supreme Court justices come in yet. That'll be something. Let's see who we got here. Fetterman again. People are taking pictures like they're looking at a concert or something. Oh, one of the people we interviewed today, what was Beth's last name? Van Dyken or something like that. She brought in a guy from ICE from Dallas, which was pretty cool. So a lot of people who are going to be at this event tonight, we got to meet their guests and who they were going to be bringing in as well. So that was pretty interesting. The whole process, it's the first time I've been involved in it in that regard. I was able to see a lot of the stuff that none of us really normally see. So it was definitely pretty interesting to see it work in action. Let me just turn that down a little bit while they're all filing in. But yeah, there's Tim Burchett. Ashley got a chance to talk to him. It was pretty awesome in person. We've had him on the show a couple times. But I still looks like a pretty full house. I guess they're not going to pan backwards and show us all of the Democrats that aren't showing up, but that's okay. Okay, let's see who's going up to the podium. We just turn this up. Why did Jeanine Pirro let the seditious sick off the hook? Don't know, but I would have to venture and say that she probably couldn't get a conviction in Washington. That's pretty much the same kind of stuff I've been telling you guys about the whole Epstein thing. Arrests mean nothing if you can't get a conviction. They tried to arrest Jim Comey and indict him. Nothing. Tried to indict Letitia James. Nothing. The judges are stacked. They're not going to put these people in jail. But we shall see. So many people I don't know who I said hi to. That's good. Again, there's JD and Mike Johnson getting ready. And you'll see Mike Johnson pick up the gavel and bring President Trump in. So we're not too far away. It's 8:48, and he'll probably be gaveling it in shortly. And like I said, get ready for what amounts to a 2 to 3 hour speech. We already know President Trump loves to talk. I don't even know if he's ever done it. Have you remember him doing a 3-hour speech, Ashley? She's not paying attention to me right now. You recall him doing a 2 or 3 hour speech? No, it's going to be a long time. Let's see who else we can see if they get closer. But we are imminent. I'm just going to turn it up and let you guys see it and talk amongst yourselves on this big night. Excuse me.
The joint session will come to order.
He cut his mic by mistake.
Chair appoints members of the committee on the House of the State Chamber. The gentleman from Louisiana, the gentleman from Michigan State, Gentleman Hudson. The gentleman from Pennsylvania, Mr. Reschenthaler. The gentleman from Utah, Mr. Moore. The gentleman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar. The gentleman from California, Mr. Liu. The gentlewoman from Washington, Mrs. Delbene. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Mrs. Dingle.
The President of the Senate, at the direction of that body, appoints the following senators as members of the Committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The Senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The Senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso. The Senator from Arkansas, Mr. Cotton. The Senator from West Virginia, Mrs. Capito. The Senator from Oklahoma, Mr. Lankford. The Senator from South Carolina, Mr. Scott. The Senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The Senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin. And the Senator from Minnesota, Ms. Klobuchar.
The members of the escort committee will exit the chamber through the lobby doors.
Mr. Speaker, the Acting Dean of the Diplomatic Corps.
I wanted to take the comments off the screen because I want you to check out the bottom right. I just find it very interesting that Nancy Mace is standing next to Thomas Massie. Very interesting. Nancy Mace, at one point, she seemed like she was full on MAGA. And it seems as though lately the entire Epstein thing has been causing some sort of an issue with her. But look at the bottom right of your screen right now. And, you know, standing next to somebody doesn't necessarily mean you think what they think, but they just seem to be awful chummy down there, don't they? Nancy Mason, Thomas Massie. So I just find that somewhat interesting that they're down there. I can't really convict somebody for standing next to somebody, but just something doesn't rub me the right way here. And she didn't show up at all today. She, as part of the House, she wasn't even there.
Justices of the Supreme Court.
Doesn't look like Clarence Thomas is there. It didn't look like Amy Coney Barrett was there, and it didn't look like a couple people. Obviously not Ketanji Jackson. None of the three Democrats are there either. So it seems like quite a few of the Supreme Court justices didn't show up tonight. Interesting. Very interesting. It's 8:57, so we're 2 minutes or so away from Mike Johnson and bringing in the President of the United States. He'll be brought in by Chuck Schumer, Tim Scott, and who else did they mention? A few other people, but that they'll be bringing him in shortly. I don't know if you saw when they cut to the gallery, but Jared was there. I saw Lara Trump; she was there. I'm sure they'll cut back to. I didn't see Melania sitting there. Oh, by the way, Chip Roy was at our event today, but we didn't have a chance to talk to him on camera. So he was there. I see Ted Cruz standing right there. You guys probably can see. Who else do we see? Rick Scott walking around. I'm looking for Democrats. I don't even, other than Chuck Schumer and Al Green here, I haven't seen many of them. So I guess some of the people are filing into the gallery. Let's see the cut here. Oh, there's Melania.
Mr. Speaker, the President's
Yes.
Cabinet.
Whoever's working the microphone inside of the facility, I don't know what the heck they're doing. They're pulling it up and pulling it down according to the people coming through. But as you can see right now, the cabinet is coming in. Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi. Who's that? What's the name? Bynum, Brooke Rollins. Let me see who is everybody there. I know Steve Miller isn't so much the cabinet, but I would love to see him come walking in. RFK Jr., Howard Lutnick, tariff man. Notice how they try to get rid of the tariff guy, but they're all coming in. So this oh, there's the Democrats right there, and there's that crazy guy that always makes those funny videos. He said, oh, there's Richard Blumenthal, there's Elise Slotkin, There's Mark Kelly. I see Schumer. Let's see. So some of the nuts did show up. That's very interesting. They did actually come to the State of the Union. I'm trying to see how many others. There's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's there. Let me see. That's about it. All right, they're all coming in. There's Dick Durbin. Raising Cane. Raising Cane is there. Oh, there's Kagan. Kagan is there. Oh, Comey Barrett is there as well. All right, see, we are past 9:02 at right this point, so looks like President Trump will be next. Steve Noam. So they're still filing in. Again, President Trump is slated to talk for 2+ hours. 2+ hours. So make sure you got your drinks and your popcorn. We're in for a long night. Just saw Tulsi Gabbard as well. Did you see her? Yeah. Let me ask. I know some people wanted us to possibly take the comments off the screen. I think it helps. I think people like to see the comments. But if you'd like, I can reduce them a little bit. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to reduce them, or are they fine the size that they are? So let me know in the comments. Do you want me to make a little bit? I can make them a little bit more transparent. I can make them smaller. I don't want to take them off the screen. So just let me know what you'd like to see.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Did you see that? Al Green tried to stick something in his face. What a dick. I'm sorry. A total dick. And if you look at Trump, he's got game face on tonight, so I think we may get something tonight.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States, Second Lady of the United States, members of Congress, and my fellow Americans. Our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America. When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure. Thank you. Today, our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before, and our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked, and America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far. Illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States. But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem while at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest. As thousands of new businesses are forming and factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil. American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill. More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector. We ended DEI in America. We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps. And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in. Go ahead. That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House. They were in the Oval Office before, and I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck. Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off, do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you all. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much. I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country. And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news. So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. Buddy earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday. So, buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas, one of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety. People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate. And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans. All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America. Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and our expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name it. I did not name that. Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people. You know, I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school, and I made computers, and I'd sell them to people, and I just kept selling and selling and selling, and pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops, so I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful, country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love. Right? Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word. They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem. They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary. Thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost. In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened, and now I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of health care, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase, but a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500. A reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes. And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent, because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Rachel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay. I wasn't sure if anybody, even on this side, was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. He'll get it done. And we're able to find enough of that fraud. We will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where corruption and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah. Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Lizbeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you. Thank you. As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, Homeland Security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice. We'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Standing. Look at all the Democrats sitting. Oh my God. Oh my God, they're not standing. They're all sitting. Oh my God. We're in big trouble. Call them out to their faces. Oh my God. Oh no. Call them out.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None. And this should be an easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%, including Democrats. 89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John. And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up. And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about this? We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy. Amazing. Incredible. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? Huh? No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady, now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal. This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man. So last year, Charlie was violently murdered by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand. Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind. We love religion, and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zuretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zuretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there. Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen? In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like it. So sorry. Thank you very much. She's a great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night, and she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone, but his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying, and after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right. Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart. We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand, Pakistan and India. Would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared. And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco. People are like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever. Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. It was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug and they dug and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job. And we're working very hard to end the 9th war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president, would have never happened. As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer. Good. For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like, 32,000 protests. 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong, because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed, at my very strong request, to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5% as opposed to not paying 2%. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily. One meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5%, then they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently. And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For one more dollar, we can have $1,776. It's going to I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. One more dollar, I said $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it, so we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very good. They couldn't believe, they all watched, they saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby, it's becoming so important. And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice. And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down. Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro, really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter, a big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine guns stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, we probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing and People knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy, Eric, and Amy. Come on in. So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg, we have it back, we brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House, and Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor. Thank you, Royce, and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. Two of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
At right about 2 hours, I think we just heard the greatest State of the Union address we've ever heard. Absolutely phenomenal. The content phenomenal. How he ended up calling out the Democrats phenomenal. The entire thing absolutely phenomenal. I don't even know how they could even respond to what they did today. It's crazy. I'll just let you guys check out President Trump as he's leaving. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So I just got to wonder what you guys thought. I haven't seen a State of the Union speech like that ever. Absolutely ever. Phenomenal. He's leaving the building, so they're probably going to cut the feed in a second here, and we'll go to full screen. Wow. Absolutely wow. I don't know. I'm not going to be watching the Democrat response. It's really not of any value to me, probably of no value to you either. Um, it, there's nothing they can do to respond to that. President Trump put these people in a barrel. When and I told you beforehand, which was funny. I said I interrupted when Ted Cruz I was playing his video, and he's like, "We got to show each other coming together." Hell no, just the opposite. I think he needed to go completely scorched earth, and boy, did he go scorched earth. I mean, absolutely phenomenal in terms of him going scorched earth. So the Democrats are going to do their response. I'm looking to see if I have a anything to cover in regards to that. But there's nothing. I don't know how they can respond to this. I'm the medals of honor, the hockey team, so much of this. There's nothing they can do at all to respond to this. They've got nothing. Remember, here's what happened. The job of, he said, of everybody in here is to protect American citizens, job one, period. Stand up if you believe that. And the Democrats didn't stand up. That may itself change all of the polling data you're going to see. They didn't stand up. They didn't have the gumption. They didn't have the intestinal fortitude to stand up to say that their job number one was to protect Americans. And I'm sure some of them looked around. Are we supposed to stand or are we not? The fact that you had to think about it. Hold on. What are we doing here? Hold on. Let me see this.
The union and be ordered printed.
Without objection. Does the gentleman from Louisiana have a motion?
Mr. Speaker, I also move that the House stand adjourned.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Accordingly, the House stands adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Since they said it, I'll have to let you guys know. Ashley and I have to be over at the White House by 8:30. So we will be there tomorrow doing some more interviews. This time, not the Capitol. This time we'll be at the actual White House complex doing interviews. Not really sure who we're going to get, but we can't wait to get over there. It's going to be amazing. I think tonight I can do, let me just make sure. Looking at the setup here, if I could pull in super chats, I would really love to be able to acknowledge you guys. I may not be able to put them on the screen per se, like I usually do. But that was just, what a night. What a night. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did in terms of hearing that. They've got no response. There's nothing they can say about that whatsoever. All right, so I can do super chats. Okay, so I can bring this over here. Let me see how I can bring it in. I might have to do some moving around so you guys can all see it. All right, so let me hold on one second. Hey, Ashley. Just walked in. 1 second, see if I can pull this in. If I can't pull it in, then I can actually read it because for some reason it's not letting me pull it in. All right, so I'm just gonna be able to read these off. Wait 1 second, I'm trying to see if there's a way I can bring these in. One more second, because I'd like to show it because people take the time to put these things in. So I'd like to see if I can't show it. All right, so let me go to display number 2. Does that work? Yeah, that works. All right, so I can show it somewhat here. 1 second, I know I'm doing this on the fly. You guys are like, what the hell is Barry doing? Well, I'm trying to show the screen with the super chats on it so you guys can see it. Not that it matters too much to you, but it does matter to me. And Okay, so here we go. Yep, I could do it this way. All right, here we go. Want to say thank you to Andrew. Andrew's here at the top. Let me just see if I can't zoom in on that and give Andrew a little bit more love. Um, hold on. And let's do this. There we go. There we go. And then I'm gonna have to. What you're hearing? Okay, just want to let you guys know. Do you know? You hear the sirens? Because the Capitol is right there. I mean, that's probably motorcades flying by. That's how close we are to the Capitol, like right now. So you're going to be hearing a lot of sirens. Nothing's wrong. That's just the president and or John Thune or Marco Rubio, but they're right there. I mean, literally right there. We can hear them. All right. So Andrew, thank you very much. Digging the flashback intros. You should bring back the rock and roll intro sometimes. Love the guitar riffs. Thank you. Yeah, on this computer, I had to bring that back. Raven Kirkendall. That clip of people reacting to the State of the Union, which hadn't occurred, shows the level of TDS. Exactly. Starfy, Barry, enjoy yourself in DC. Thanks for the coverage. You're welcome. Very cold here. Gloriob, the majority of the left want DJT out. Really sad. Good things takes time. I paid $2.75 a gallon in Florida today. Let's see what else we got. Jasp Pug. Democrats will lose more people to vote Republican if they do their walkout as planned. I think by not agreeing to stand up, they're going to lose a lot of people as well. I can't wait to see what the response is. I'm not going to, and I have some videos to show you tomorrow. It's going to blow you away in terms of what they were doing as an alternative tonight. Colleen, thanks, Barry, for the coverage. Thank you for watching. Johnny Bravo, it's shameful that the USA hockey team has to see that Democrat versus it'll probably be enlightening for them and help spread the word about how far gone these Democrats have taken it. Jose, do you think people in other nations are watching? Oh, absolutely. Oh, this was definitely world news, for sure. Michael McDonald, I love to stare down to the Democrats on anything good. Geosop, Democrats are as miserable as ever. So you can see they don't look like winners. These aren't winners whatsoever. Babo Face, thank you. Mary One, President called up the fact that not all the Dems stood for a hockey team. Not only did they not stand for the hockey team, they don't stand for you. They absolutely said it is not their job to protect Americans. They can't get away from that. Cat Black, focus on the midterms, nobody stays home, and the Democrat Party. Helen Tower, here comes another motorcade. Thanks, Barry, Ashley, and team. I mean, when I'm saying right here at the Rumble studio, you can hear how close the sirens are. They're coming right down the street here. I forget the name of the street, but the Capitol building is I can see the Capitol building out the window. That's how close we are. And so these are all motorcades that are coming flying by. And by the way, I just want to tell you, I had been to Washington as a younger man. I've never seen this city this clean. We couldn't find trash on the street. It was absolutely pristine. Nikki, someone called the burn unit. Dems are going to need some ointment big time. DS Loyal, this is a night for real Americans. Indeed, it is. Caroline Miller, Vance Bondi, Tune, Susie Wiles, all work against DJT for their exposure and discernment of our POTUS. I can't. Nikki, why are the Dems look so mad? Because they're losers. They're losing. That's what I want to impress upon you. Winners don't look like they look. I thought they were into humiliation rituals. Mrs. Peach of President Trump, he brought it. Grandma Lynn, he's wiping up the floor with them right to their faces. And by the way, Al Green, who came out there with the apes, what an idiot. He got escorted out. Caroline Miller, show Barry some love. Thank you. Neo brother, how you doing? Barry Ashley, great job. Proud of you in DC. Thanks for all you and the Fanfare family do. We love you. Be safe. God bless you too. Thank you. Hawk Attack. For the uneducated in oblivion, military are not allowed to stand, clap, etc. Okay, so the generals up front and as well as the Supreme Court, they're not allowed to stand up and show favor and on either side. Not supposed to. Will Smith, lots of love for Barry family. Unfortunately, I do feel that the comments on the screen are still too much, especially with these sometimes disgusting and derogatory comments. Good with the bad, man. Good with the bad, but thank you very much. Madeline, thank you for sharing our great President Trump and showing the world how pitiful the Democrats truly are. God bless you. God bless our great President Trump, and God bless our great United States of America. Agreed. Chiosop, Dems want to honor brave men in women's sports. Or brave men. Yeah, I guess that's it. You got it right there. Neo, thank you, Mr. President. God bless America. For more Bibles, absolutely. Thanks for the shared event. Chiosop, Trump should have talked filibuster to Dems. I don't know if they're going to need to filibuster now after he slapped them like that. Wait till tomorrow when people start talking about the fact that they did not stand up in regards to keeping Americans safe. Suzanne, best State of the Union ever. Thank you, Barry, Ashley, and Robin. Thank you, and the mods as well. Here comes another motorcade. Silda, thank you. Let's see, where was I? George, banner controversy notwithstanding, your coverage and commentary is unparalleled above all others out there. Thank you very, very much. Maltese Mayhem, best speech ever, great president ever. Democrats are a disgrace to our country. Thank you, Barry and family. See, most of you guys right now are probably smiling. You feel good. You'll feel good for what you just heard. You feel good how he honored these people. And then you have to see the contrast. These people sitting there sulking, feeling bad. That's not a winning attitude. They are definitely losing. Unbelievable. I said James Skip. Trump owned the night, blasting the Dems on live TV to their faces. Armando, thank you for your hard work. Thank you very much. Tim, how you doing? I didn't see open notes or teleprompter. Amazing speech, strong close, amazing. He did have a teleprompter because earlier when people were talking about how the microphone was going in and out. Well, those are very touchy microphones, and they're directed at him this way. And if you notice, he would turn and talk, and so at that point, he's not projecting into the microphone. So he was looking at a teleprompter, and then he would talk straight, and then he would look off here, and it would hit his cheek. So it's just the way it was set up. Let's see here. Thank you, Barry team from Moondust. Thank you very much. And I think there's one or two more here I gotta acknowledge. Yes. Charlie Tucker. Democrats showed their true colors. Love Trump calling them out. Great all-around speech. Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you guys very much. It is 11:15. Ashley and I have to be at the White House 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the morning, we got to be there. So I'm going to do an abbreviated after party. It'll let it run for 10 minutes or so, and then we got to get out of here and get back and go to bed. And whew, man, we're so tired. Both of us are so tired. But she's been a trooper, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Talk to you soon.